Here is someone that 23andMe determined was 100% Northwestern European. 94% British Isles, a little bit French and German, and the rest unquestionably Northwestern European. This happens to be a person whose ancestors came to the United States over 300 years ago, but the genetics remain what they were, and they reflect the nature of this person. This person cannot but be a white person. A white person, his genes say so, his appearance says so, and this is not some kind of fiction or some kind of optical illusion.
Pause it. I mean, this is stupid. Do we not know white people that act like black people? We never met. Like, there was like a video that's going viral, the Hoff twins. It's like, you guys should watch it. It's fucking hilarious. It's these two white twins who grew up in the ghetto in the Bay Area. And they're like, they live in the projects with all the blacks. And they're like black. Like, they're part of the black community. Like, they're ethnically black. And he's saying, like, a white person doesn't have the choice. Like, he looks at humans like a robot that's programmed by DNA and like has no autonomy.
That's right.
Well, his argument is that all the non-whites see a white person and they just have this like fantasy of just like killing them in their sleep or something.
When Eminem first came out, did you see a white person? Or did you see like a white N Hardy R?
Well, I mean, it's like people like Jared Taylor. They think that genetics influence culture 100%. Like it's irreversible. You can't change it. But then like you have the stories of, say, Alexander the Great, right? He made it all the way into Asia, right? And after he died, you had a lot of Greeks that stayed. They married local women. They didn't. They brought in their own women and they adjusted into society. You had Greeks in Afghanistan for hundreds of years. They learned the local languages. They ended up converting to Buddhism. I mean, you can still see their statues and their coins, right? With have their face, and on the other side will be a thing of the Buddha. They were culturally Central Asian or Indian subcontinent. They had forgotten Greek. They had forgotten everything about their past. Their culture had completely shifted. Their genetics might not have shifted for a while, but someone like Jared Taylor would say, no. It has to stay the same. It has to stay the same forever and ever and ever. Like he doesn't. People like they're too rigid in how they think.
Not only that, he wants to ascribe like some sort of essence to the genes. Like they mix like materialism with like spiritual things, because he's basically arguing that there's like this Northwestern European essence that is transmitted through the genes. And it's like, again, he's taking, like, he's not taking history into consideration. He's just looking at everything as like a slideshow or like discrete instances of things. And it's like, well, you mean like a Northwestern European from 2020, or a Northwestern European from 500 years ago, or a Northwestern European from 3000 BC? It's like, are those like, do they carry the exact same thing? If it's the exact same thing, where the hell were Northwestern Europeans 3,000 years ago? Where were they? Why weren't they the chief of industry and like the chiefs of civilization like they are now? So it's like, if you're ascribing this essential like this inherent thing, like, oh, this person cannot be anything but this Northwestern European, and implied in that is that they're good, polite, hardworking, whatever, productive, not criminal, all this bunch of good stuff that they want to ascribe to the white race. They never want to ascribe anything negative. Like, even, well, we can get into that later. Even when they want to try to see put like a negative, it's something like, we're too good, like
we're too nice.
Yeah, we're too nice.
Crime is that I'm too good of a girlfriend and takes advantage of me. Fucking faggots, dog. Oh Lord!
So like at a job interview, what's your biggest weakness? I work too hard, man. Like I'm just in it for the company so much. Like I can be too productive sometimes.
My graph's too good.
So yeah, it's like, okay, so what's the essence of a Northwestern European? Like, what time frame are we talking about? Last 50 years, like last 100 years, last 3,000 years?
This is essentially Calvinism, correct? I don't know too much about Calvinism,
but yeah, biological Calvinism.